Hey Forum! Today I'm going to show you how to replace your hard drive, replace your RAM, and replace your optical drive with a hard drive, with another hard drive. So you can have two hard drives in this laptop, but you will lose your optical drive. I've already taken out my optical drive, here it is, and currently I have the hard drive that came with this laptop plus a solid state drive. So this guide will cover those things and basically the full disassembly of the chassis of the laptop. I'm not going to take apart the screen, I have no reason to. So let's get started. So to take out the hard drive and the RAM, they're all contained underneath this back plate. The optical disk drive is right here, so obviously that's not covered with the back plate, so we have to actually take the entire keyboard area clear off. So let's first just take out the hard drive and take out the RAM. So you're going to need just a screwdriver, and there are two screws here and here that you need to take off to remove the back plate. So I'm just going to take these out. Having a magnetic screwdriver is really helpful, and you really don't want to drop screws inside this thing because you can potentially short some stuff out. So this back cover just sort of slides off. There it is. Pretty nice. Here you can see this is our battery. We want to take that out first so we don't electrocute ourselves. Just comes right out. And then here we have solid state drive. This is where your hard drive will be. And here's the RAM stick. So just really quick, take out the RAM. Boop. There's two clasps here. You pull those back. The RAM will stick out. And here, this is just a 4 GB DDR3 normal voltage RAM. It's not the low voltage stuff. And it works, so obviously that stuff doesn't make a difference. Pop it right back in. And so the first step actually to taking apart the chassis is you actually have to take the hard drive out because there are two ribbon cables that you have to take out. There's three actually that connect the bottom part of the laptop to the keyboard area. And to do those you have to get underneath the hard drive. So there are four screws here, 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 and here that we need to take out. I will also provide a guide with images, and I will highlight the images. These are the only screws that are different. You can see they're shorter. These go on the hard drive, so just keep those separate. They're the only screws that aren't standard with this laptop. That one's a little stiff, we'll take it over in a sec. Three. There we go. 4. Okay, so now this is the hard drive with the mounting brackets that came, or a solid state drive, not hard drive, that came with the original hard drive. You can see this is the SATA 2 or SATA 3 ribbon cable, but Sony runs it as SATA 2, I don't know why. This you can just sort of pull off. And there you go, there's solid state drive. Put that to the side. Now you'll see there's this black flap of plastic. Look underneath it, you'll see there are two ribbon cables here. They will have this black tape on them. You can see I've taken them off here. I would put that stuff back on if you ever plan on returning your laptop to Sony, otherwise they'll know you've been messing around with the inside of your laptop. Anyway, there are two black flaps here. You need to undo these flaps. They just sort of pop up. You can use your fingernail. And then pull on the blue tab to separate the ribbon cable from where it goes in on the laptop here. And that's all you need to do. You can close that flap back up now. And now we have a lot of screws to undo. So we have screws like on the bottom of the laptop, and then there's screws underneath the plate that you need to take out too. The screws need to take out. I will highlight these with an image that I will post along with this, but they are here, 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 here. So there are what looks like 10 total on the actual surface of the laptop, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 here. So there, total you'll have 10 plus 8 plus the 2 screws here. You should have 20 screws. And you want to count those all the time because you want to make sure that they're not inside your laptop or you've left one in, because if you try to pull apart this laptop with a screw in, still, you're not going to have a very fun time. And you'll probably break something. So take them all out. It's a good idea. So I will speed up this part. You don't have to watch me take out 18 screws. So I've taken out the ones that are underneath the plate now. Oh, there's actually one more right here. I forgot to mention that one. So you'll have 21 screws actually, not 20. Okay, screws are all out. You also want to make sure really quick that you don't have any USB peripherals on there. So like this is my Logitech mouse, wireless mouse receiver. And take that out. Otherwise it'll be really hard. Oh, actually it won't matter. Scratch that, it won't matter. Okay, we're ready to take the keyboard off. So actually you want to start with the laptop closed like this. You want to slowly, there's a seam you'll see running along here. You can see now it's starting to separate. Pull that seam open, just insert your fingernails, start working it. And if you don't have any screws, it should just sort of come off. This is very part of the whole operation, but you can do it. There is a ribbon cable still connected right here. I didn't disconnect this one because it's not as crucial as disconnecting the other two. Come on. There we go. Ooh. It's going to make some weird noises, don't worry too much. But you can see we've taken off the entire keyboard area and touchpad. And you can see here are the two SATA, or not SATA, two cables we disconnected earlier. I think they power the keyboard and the other buttons, because if you don't plug those back in, your power button won't work and neither will your keyboard. So yeah, connect those. And there we go, we've opened up the laptop. Look at that. Now, make sure you guys can see this. Alright. So here is the optical display caddy. I've got my 640 gigabyte hard drive that came with my laptop in it. And this guy will literally just slide right out. It's not screwed in at all. You can see it's connected here. And then there's a little like soft thing that is right here that when you put a CD in, it sort of guides it to the center of the drive, I guess. Oh, come here. These screws are also not standard, so make sure you keep them separate. I think they're the same size as the hard drive screws. You will need to undo this to get it back in, probably. There you go. You can take off this little black filtery thing now. You can see that there with the sort of felt. And now just lift this guy up and voila, there is your, this will be your optical display drive if you haven't replaced it, but right now it's obviously my hard drive, optical, and optical bay caddy. This is just your standard caddy. I'm not sure what model it is. I just got it off eBay for my old laptop and it fit right in the Sony one. So yeah, obviously you need a 9.5 millimeter hard drive. It will not work with a 12.7, I think. There just isn't room. So anyway, we can just connect this puppy back in. Can't really see. There we go, and that just sort of sits right in there. Make sure your hard drive is really pushed into the caddy. Mine wasn't initially, and so Windows did not recognize it. I thought it was like a hardware, like Sony's fault, but I just hadn't fully pushed it in. So make sure it's really pushed in. And now I'm going to put back the felt thingy on. Just sort of snaps in and latches onto the top of the caddy. Where'd my screwdriver go? That goes there. And so basically I'm just putting back the screws that we took apart earlier. That ribbon cable. Be careful with that. Okay, now we can snap the keyboard back on. So if you just sort of rest it on, make sure you have it the right sort of orientation, and just sort of push it on the sides to just pop right back on. Make sure you get it up at the top. Alright, and so one thing I've noticed, I posted in the forum about this, but if you do replace the optical display drive with the hard drive caddy, you almost get no flex on the left side of the keyboard. Because before you can see, like if you're pushing on the top here, there's a lot of flex and it's very squishy, but with the hard drive, it's not there so much. It's not as springy, which was a big improvement, at least for me. Alright, so remember those two cables, you need to put those back now. You really want to make sure that you have them lined up. I accidentally put it in once, and there's a black line right in front of the tab. You want to make sure that like lines up basically, because I've put it in a couple times where it was at an angle and it basically wouldn't turn on because the ports are not properly aligned. Put that plastic flap back on. I put the tape back on just in case. I have not, but I will if I do need to RMA this or something. Just Stick your hard drive back in. Solid state, if that be the case now. Screw them back in. Now, I know mine's going to work because I've done this like 3 times now, but one thing you can do before screwing everything back together, just sort of push the laptop back together, maybe put the backplate on, and boot it up into Windows, and make sure it recognizes that there's a hard drive there, because if it's not, you're going to have to take the whole thing apart again, make sure it's really pushed together, and yeah, it's not fun. That's what I had to do. And this part's going to be very boring. It's going to be me putting in screws for a while. It was so boring, I just decided to cut the rest of the video, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Have fun. If you have any other questions or concerns, or just want to say thanks, please let me know by posting below.